Empusa or Empusa/Empeduus/1 Ancient Greek epsilon mu pi omicron upsilon sigma alpha plural, epsilon mu pi omicron upsilon sigma alpha iota. Empusa is a shape-shifting female being in Greek mythology said to possess a single leg of copper commanded by Hecate, whose precise nature is obscure too in late antiquity. The Empusa have been described as a category of phantoms or specters, equated with the Lamia and Mormalaikeia. Thought to seduce and feed on young men. The primary sources for the Empusa in antiquity are Aristophanes' plays, The Frogs and Ecclesial, as you see, and Philostratus's Life of Apollonius of Tyana. The Empusa has been defined in the Sudas and by Crates of Malice as a demonic phantom, a four with shape-shifting abilities 4-5. Thus in Aristophanes' plays she is said to change appearance from various beasts to a woman. 6. The Empusa is also said to be one-legged 5, namely having one brass leg B or a donkey's leg, thus being known by the epithets ono col omicron nu omicron kappa omega lambda eta 5 and ono scalis omicron nu omicron sigma kappa epsilon lambda iota sigma, which they mean donkey-footed. 7. Folk etymology construes the name to mean one-footed from Greek * epsilon mu pi omicron upsilon sigma, *impuson -1 plus paus foot 5-4. In Aristophanes' comedy The Frogs, an Empusa appears before Dionysus and his slave Xanthias on their way to the underworld, although this may be the slave's practical joke to frighten his master. Xanthias thus sees or pretends to see the Empusa transform into a bull, a mule, a beautiful woman, and a dog. The slave also reassures that the being indeed had one brass copper leg and another leg of cow, dung. See besides 6-8. The Empusa was a being sent by Hecate, as one scholiast noted. 5. Or was Hecate herself, according to a fragment of Aristophanes' lost play Tagenes de Men of the Frying Pan, as preserved in the Venatus. In modern times folklore has been collected about a being fitting the description of an Empusa, an extremely slender woman with multiple feet, one of bronze, one a donkey's foot, one an ox's, one a goat's, and one human, but she was referred to as a woman with the Lamia-like body and gait. The example was from Arachva Parnassus and published by Bernhard Schmidt, the 1871-1415. Schmidt only speculated that oral lore of Empusa might survive somewhere locally. 16. A field study Charles Stewart 1985 finds that Empusa is a term that is rarely used in oral tradition, compared to other terms such as jello, which has a similar meaning. According to Robert Graves, Empusa was a demigoddess, the beautiful daughter of the goddess Hecate and the spirit Mormo. She feasted on blood by seducing young men, as they slept. See sleep paralysis, before drinking their blood and eating their flesh. When she spotted a man sleeping on the road, she attacked him, little knowing he was Zeus, king of the gods. Zeus woke and visited his wrath on her, and Empusa was killed. Empusa is referenced in Rudyard Kipling's narrative poem Tomlinson. Empusa is a character in Faust Part 2 by Goethe. She appears during the classical Walpurgis Night as Mephisto, is being led by the Lamia. She refers to herself as cousin to Mephisto, because she has a donkey's foot, and he has a horse's. Empusa is the name of the ship used by Count Eloque to travel to Wisburg in F. W. Murnau's film Nosferatu 1922. Empusa is a main antagonist turned heroine in the novel Grecian Rune by James Matthew Byers. They may look like humans at first. In Primal, Empusa is among the Wraith aristocrats, a fast-traveling race of demons, and the wife of the main antagonist in the Third World. In Wicked Wings by Kerry Arthur, the villains are 3 Empusae who are eating the flesh of their prey. They use the form of a young woman to lure the men to their deaths.